Hey everyone, Justin here with Paragon Martial Arts, bringing you another tactical tip video. This week we're going to be talking a little bit about EDC, or everyday carry items. This is something I keep in my own personal vehicle, and it's a good tool to have. There's a couple different options that we're going to talk about, making sure that you have the one that's best for you. This just happens to be the one that I carry, and it just looks like a regular pocket knife, because it is kind of a regular pocket knife. Obviously you can see by the wear on this that I use it. Check with your local laws and everything like that. This one is a spring assisted open, which at the time I bought it, you could have in Wisconsin. Now you can't. So just one of those things. At the time of purchase, it was okay. Just make sure that you're protecting yourself from a few different perspectives here. But the cool thing about this, that I really don't care as much about the blade as I do the fancy little add-on things that we have here, which are going to be a glass breaker, which is this fancy bit on the end, as well as a seatbelt cutter. So these can come in handy for a multitude of reasons, and you can kind of use your imagination on this, but just think about from the scenario if your car would go into the water. A lot of times the electrical systems are not going to function while you are underwater. So going to be able to get out of the car, you could grab this, break the glass real quick. They even kind of like rounded this end a little bit so it's not sharp, and you can have a pretty decent grip on it, so you're not digging into your hand as you're trying to get out of the vehicle. So it's nice. It doesn't take a lot of force to break glass. I have used one of these on a vehicle before. It's pretty cool. It does tend to explode, so if you're going to use it, make sure you're not looking at the glass, away from the glass, because tempered glass does tend to go all over the place. This will not break a front windshield though, because those are laminated. So you have to use this on one of the side windows of your vehicle, which are tempered glass. They're going to shatter a lot easier. The seatbelt cutter is another fancy tool to have, because again, worst case scenario, you get in a car accident, the seatbelt locks on, you can't get out. This actually happened several years ago, right by my parents' house actually. There's a state highway that we have by us that kind of comes down a hill and is a sweeping curve. The cross street that's on there, a lot of people will go and not really pay attention who's coming from this way. And I think the dump truck that was part of the accident went when the people were coming around the corner. One way or the other, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but they got in a wreck. The car started on fire, and the passengers in the car, the person on the driver's side was able to get out, the passenger was not able to get out. The girl did wind up dying because no one could get the seatbelt undone, and by the time the fire department got there, it was too late. So if someone would have had one of these in their car, that would have been very helpful at that point in time, or just for yourself. I keep this clipped to my seatbelt because obviously you buckle your seatbelt, it's going to be right there for you. People keep these things like in their glove box or put it in the center console. You might not be able to access it that way, so you want to put it in probably the most likely spot that you could actually grab this. So, and I know, if you get T-boned or something like that, might have happened, but I keep it clipped down on the side of me here, because I know that's the part of my seatbelt that doesn't move a whole lot. I know where it is. I can access it pretty easily with both hands. So if this arm was broken or something like that, I would be able to use my other arm to get over there, even if the seatbelt was locked, to be able to get that. So there's a few considerations you want to have. So it's not just a simple matter of like, yeah, I'm just going to keep this, I'm going to toss it in the center console. Kind of like people that rely on their cell phones for car accidents. Like, they have it sitting right there. If you get in an accident, the cell phone's not going to stay there, right? So just little things to think about. And again, this is my personal preference. The knife comes in really handy for a lot of things. If you needed to make a repair in your vehicle or something like that, you can use this for a lot of stuff, electrical, or a hose pops off or something like that. You can cut stuff. It can be a screwdriver, it can be a pry bar. Try and think of alternative uses for it, because it's not just for cutting people, which is what a lot of people will think. There's a lot of different functions that this can serve. So try and get a better quality knife. I actually think I paid, and again, in terms of knives, it's not a whole lot, but I think I paid like $70 for this one. I do have a cheaper one that I was gifted for helping run a fire training for the up in Tomahawk. They do a big fire training every year, which is where I got the idea to search out another one of these. So, and this one's a, I don't know if they make this or not, but it's a TAC Force. You know, they're not a huge brand that I've heard of a lot. It just, it's a pretty solid construction, which is why I picked it up. Again, you're trusting your life to something like this. The cheap aluminum one that I was gifted would work great for a glass breaker. I'm pretty sure the seatbelt cutter wouldn't work though. So anyway, just wanted to yeah, make sure you're making the appropriate decisions with the quality that you're investing in with that. So try and think about this from the standpoint of, you know, what you're going to want to keep around. If you got kids that are in your car a lot, they do make versions of these that do not have a knife attached to them. You can get just a hammer for a glass breaker, but it doesn't have the seatbelt cutter on it. A lot of them come with mounts where you can mount it under your seat, which if you're using it just for the glass breaker, they'll be fine. But if your seatbelt's locked on, you're not going to be able to access it, which is why I went with this version. I'm sure that there's versions out there without the knife on there. Or, like my kids know not to touch this type of thing. Obviously there's a little bit of an age where they don't know that. You got to keep an eye on them. But, if they're playing on or around the car or something, you just got to be careful where, you leave these things around. But it's a good investment to have something like this, because for, less than $100 or probably even less than $50, you could pick up something like this that could literally save your life one day. And just good overall consideration to like general safety, things like that. This would make, even if it didn't have the knife on there, a nice little doodad for reinforcing any striking that you may need to do. So there's more than one use for it than just the uses that are on it. So we're going to wrap that up there. If you guys have any questions, just send us an email. We'll try and be able to help you out finding something that's the right fit for you for this. ParagonMAFC@gmail.com, and just let us know if you have any videos that you want to see in the future as well. We're going to be continually putting these tactical tip videos up, as well as training, strength and conditioning videos that are related to martial arts training. If you're looking a little bit more for just like the fitness side of things, you can check us out, TNT Fitness Results. We do have a whole other, actually let me see if I can pivot this around here. We do have a whole other side to this place over here. We do a lot of fitness training, strong first training. So if you have any questions about any of that stuff, drop us an email, let us know how we can help you out, and we'll be happy to help you. We'll catch you guys next time with our next training tip video. Have a great week.